Hello and welcome to Quilt Addicts Anonymous. I'm Stephanie Soebbing. About a week ago, we put out a video that showed you how to convert any mass pattern that uses elastic into one that uses ties. And since then, the bias tape makers that I showed you in the video to help make that job easier, those are sold out too. We went through about 60 of them in a couple of days, and our distributor is not getting more for a little while. So I'm going to show you in today's video how you can use just your ironing board and a couple of pins to have a makeshift bias tape maker. That way you can make things a little bit faster. It's a fun little sewing hack. But before I do that, I just want to thank all of you who are stepping up to make masks for our first responders and for our critical care workers who are still out there working at grocery stores and gas stations to help keep everything running. We have heard from so many of you. We have now given away 80,000 twist ties to use as a nose bridge, makeshift nose bridge in the mask, and we've ordered 120,000 more. So you can get those for free with a small shipping fee on our website, shop.quiltaddictsanonymous.com. Just search for twist tie. I'll put a link to it also in the video description down below. But we just thank you all so much. We're very happy to be a part of that. We are working to ship them out as quickly as we can. What we've been doing is we put 40,000 out, and then once we have processed and shipped the last of those, then we put another 40,000 out. So if you go there and you see that they're out, just go on there and join the wait list, and as soon as we have more that we've got them all out, then we will list more available for you guys, and you'll get an email letting you know when that is ready for it. We are doing this as quickly as we can, but we are also following safety guidelines because of COVID-19. So right now, my husband and I are working from our home, and one of our employees is working in her home packaging all those up. And so, you know, every day or so, we're doing an exchange of tubs outside so that there's no human contact between us. And we're just giving her the new orders and then taking the ones that she has prepared to get them as safely as we can to you guys. So get your masks to the point where you can add in those ties, and we will get them to you just as quickly as we can. So thanks so much for following along with that. We really appreciate the way the sewing community has stepped up. All right, so now to the hack on how to make bias binding, or in this case, I'm actually using straight of grain, but how to do it without a bias tape maker. All right, I'm using my cut and press here because it has measurements on it, so it's going to be really easy for me to measure this out. But if you don't have this, that's okay. You just need to be able to measure out an inch, and that's perfectly fine too. So you need something that you can measure an inch on, and then 2 straight pins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my poke in, and then I'm going to probably use the tip of my scissors here so that I can rock that pin out on the 1 inch mark. You can see it popping out right about there. And then I'm going to bring it back in, and I'll guide that in. I can use my fingertip too, at the 1 inch mark over there. So I've created a little bit of a gap that I can slide some fabric under. I'm going to zoom in a little bit when I do the second one so you guys can see it up close. All right, so maybe about 4 inches or so away from the first one. I'm coming in about 1/4 inch away from the 1 inch mark. And then I'm using my scissors there so I don't poke my finger. And then I'm just going to, I don't want to poke it in just yet. I want to wait until we get across to the 1 inch mark and then poke that back in there. So I've got a 1 inch piece here that I can use as a guide when I am doing this. So I said this on the last video that you need a 2 inch by width of fabric strip to make the straps for the top and bottom of the mask. I think a lot of you might not know what width of fabric means because we get a lot of questions about how long that should be. Width of fabric is 40 to 44 inches, and it's basically your selvage to your selvage. So that way you can just cut a width of fabric if you don't have to worry about turning in those edges because the selvage is nice and finished edge. You don't have to mess with that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to just fold this in on itself. And it doesn't have to be perfect at this point. We are going to mess with this a little bit. But right now I want to kind of fold it in and I want to pull it underneath. And you can see it's already kind of wanting to turn in. We've got some messing to do to get it to be half and half. You can see it's already starting to turn that under real nicely and give you that guide. So now when I get to this other half, I'm going to do the same thing. Go ahead and push that underneath. And get it nice and straightened out. All right, now I'm ready to take my iron. I'm going to go ahead and flatten out that first part there. And I'm going to go ahead and pull a little bit. And then iron that. I can pull a little bit more and just keep on ironing. And if it gets off a little bit like it did here, that's okay. All you have to do is refold it in. And then just kind of keep pulling slowly. That strap through until you've gotten all the way through. So it's not quite as fast or as slick as a bias tape maker, but if you can't get one, this is a lot better option than folding it all in and piece by piece. And once you kind of get the hang of it, it does go a little bit easier and a little bit faster. Again, thank you all for your immense response to serving the need of making masks for our healthcare workers, our first responders, our caregivers, and those critical workers who are staffing our grocery stores and gas stations. We have seen all of your notes. We unfortunately don't have the time to reply to every single one of them because we are just getting so many orders for the twist ties. Our focus is on getting those out to you as quickly as possible. And again, we do still have the twist ties that you can use in the bridge of the nose for the mask you're making. They'll work with any type of mask you're working on. We're giving them away for free with a small shipping charge that just covers the postage and the materials that we have to ship it to you. We are working as quickly as we can, but also as safely as we can to get them out. So we are offering them in batches of 40,000. We just went through our second batch of 40,000, which means we have now given away 80,000. So please go to our website, shop.quiltaddictsanonymous.com. You can sign up to be on a wait list if they are sold out, because we are trying to get every single last one shipped out to you before we make more available. That way you guys aren't just sitting there waiting for them. But you can always get your mask to the point of adding the twist ties, and then you're just ready to stitch those guys in place as soon as you get them. Thanks so much for following along, and thank you for stepping up and helping to fight this any way we can. Thanks so much, and happy quilting.